Mel, completing the first day of the Pilot Training Reform Symposium, there's been a tremendous amount of discussion, fairly uplifting, fairly progressive, very aggressive in some ways. I mean, these people are here looking for change and looking to make flight training in the aviation world a better place. What are your impressions so far?
Well, my impression is, one, it's very rewarding for me to have come here. It's a very opportune time, and I was actually very surprised how in tune we are in the agency with what they're seeing here. These group of professional flight instructors who are totally committed to doing the right things and to promoting the safety aspects and the professionalism, and that is so much in line with a lot of the things that we're looking to do, a lot of the initiatives we're looking to implement.
Of the speakers and the committees and the groups that you've heard so far, have there been any surprises?
Actually, it's a pleasant surprise is that they are actually, as I stated before, so in tune to the things that we're looking at as, you know, we really need to focus on this area. We really need to look at professionalism. We need to look at how we better prepare flight instructors. We need to do this in a non-regulatory basis. And yet they are cognizant that we have to strengthen what we have now. So for me, I see such a great alignment with what this professional group is doing. And when you look at the 5-year strategic plan that we have developed in the agency, how that's aligned, I see tremendous synergy here that I think is going to really help us prepare better for the future of those pilots coming up through the system.
With the best of intentions and phenomenal talent among this group, it's not going to be worth a darn unless we have the support and partnership with the FAA. Let's face it, you guys pretty much are the boss when it comes to this kind of thing. How do you feel about that, and you think we're going to be able to count on FAA as a full and equal partner in this?
Well, actually, you know, one of the core tenets of the 5-year strategic plan is, one, it's a non-regulatory approach, but two, it's a collaborative approach. And that's very important because, you know, I expect to be held accountable to a performance level and to a commitment that we're making to this 5-year strategic plan. And the fact that just as we expect the community to be part of this, because here's the thing, no matter what we do, I can sit in my office and generate initiating new regulations. I can generate different policies and these kinds of things. There's no way I'm going to affect the change that we're looking for by me doing that out of my office. There's no way we can even do it with our inspectors in the field going out and trying to implement any new policies I might institute. What's going to work is when we do it collaboratively, when everyone has a part of this solution, because we all have a part of the problem. So will it be collaborative? Of course. Are we on board with it? You better believe it.
The beauty of the Release 9 system architecture is that you have 2 fully redundant integrated flight displays. Each has access to all the systems and data. Providing full redundancy and eliminating traditional reversionary modes, Release 9 allows either display to be configured as the PFD. Now your failure modes are much more manageable because you can continue to fly with the same familiar display symbology without the need to relearn composite modes you don't typically fly with. Avidyne's Integra Release 9 is truly the next generation in fully integrated flight deck technology.
What kind of directives or information are you getting from the administrator on this course?
Well, you know, the administrator actually held a media roundtable around the end of April. And I think with him holding that media roundtable to present to the community in the world our strategic plan for reducing fatal accidents and improving the system, I think that was, you know, just a small show of his commitment to general aviation and to safety and to transforming the U.S.'s general aviation safety culture when it comes to the community, and both internally with FAA and externally with the community.
Sure, it's nice having a working pilot and a guy who's been a flight instructor, though, in the top role, doesn't it?
It definitely is. It does help a lot. You know, I think he brings a certain level of understanding and ownership of the realities of what this community has to deal with. I think, you know, that leadership and that commitment just trickles down to all of us, both from the associate administrator down to the director, down to myself and my folks below me, and even the folks in the field that we're going to make sure that they're on board and they understand how we're going to move forward in a very collaborative environment so that we all contribute to the success of this. Because failure, like I said, can be mine if I'm leading the organization in flight standards for the General Aviation division. However, success can only be through the us, the we, the collaborative efforts. So that's the only way we're going to get there, is when we're working together towards that goal.
Putting a lot of pressure on yourself, aren't you?
It is. You know, a lot of people have said, well, you know, you sure you want to tackle that? And I say, well, you know, what I found in general aviation, it's a minefield of opportunities. So I'm looking to get a lot of help in finding that success.
I wrote an editorial about a year ago in which I put forth the idea that in the current decline of general aviation and the effort to save it and remake it, I mean, let's face it, it's never going to be what it was, but that's not a bad thing. It's time for something new. And we're going to remake it in some hopefully new and positive way. But as that happened, there was no aspect of aviation more important than the flight instructor, the person who is literally the cornerstone of all that came from them to the rest of aviation. Are we wrong on that?
No, as a matter of fact, to show you where I see it, which is kind of in line with what you're saying, is that we have various initiatives under the General Aviation Transformation Plan, the five-year strategic plan. There's a lot of initiatives with academia, with manufacturers, with type clubs, with the various organizations. And I contend, in agreement to what you're saying, that if we transform general aviation safety culture of the CFI community alone, if we fix that, you know, not that it's that broken, but it definitely could improve. If we do that, I think we'll more than achieve the results and goals that we're looking for.
Welcome to the Aero-News Network, the aviation world's most comprehensive news and information resource. Real-time 24/7 online audio and video programming, where aviation has been getting updated for over a decade. Distributing over 11,000 stories, features, audio, and video programs every year. Only ANN covers aviation and aerospace with this much depth, insight, and expertise. Check us out on the web at aero-news.net.
Could be a very positive snowball effect.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I mean, that's a community that affects so many. You know, it's such a big multiplier, and it's the community that sets a lot of the standards in as far as when you're training somebody in today, that they make the right decisions tomorrow when they have 150, 250 people in the back seat. So, like I said, I think this is one of the most promising cultural change community that can affect in a positive way the safety aspects of our business.
You've been very generous in taking a lot of responsibility and even putting yourself on the spot in a number of areas. So let me raise the bar just a little bit. Tomorrow everybody's going to get together, make a number of recommendations, put their best thoughts forward, and then go forth and see what happens from there. From your standpoint, what do you want to see happen? What are you willing to do to help make it happen? I mean, look forward a little bit. What's your best case scenario for what comes out of the Pilot Training Reform Symposium?
The best case scenario is that since we have these folks that have that level of expertise, when you look at the combined experience that's here, when you look at the combined commitment that's here from the certified flight instructors, master flight instructors, flight instructor of the year, and all these things, and the different organizations that they belong to, I'm really expecting some finite, measurable, tangible things that I'll probably look to be accountable for, where they say, hey, look, here's the things that we have as recommendations. I foresee us taking the top ones. We have to prioritize because, unfortunately, there is this thing called a budget and
details,
a budget, resource issues. But I don't want to use that as an excuse, because I don't think any of my leadership above me is using that as an excuse to not do something. We won't do it all, but I am very positive in that. I believe this organization, this group here, all these folks will come up with some tangible things that I'll look forward to working with them to implement.
Well, Mel, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you personally being here. I think it's added quite a bit to the proceedings. What you said at lunch, I think, empowered quite a few folks, and we look forward to seeing what this group and the rest of aviation does in concert or in partnership with you in the future. And thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.